Does Escobedo ring a bell? Miranda? I mean, you must have heard of the Fourth Amendment. What I'm saying is that man had rights.
Well, I'm all broken up about that man's rights.
The 70s are to movies what the 80s are to everything the fuck else. So sure, the 40s had film noir, the 60s had spaghetti westerns, and the 90s had...
Welcome to Earth.
So how about those 80s action movies, folks? But the 70s, from pretentious art house fluff to murder mysteries to disaster movies that couldn't have been any more about projecting public anxieties if Jimmy Carter crashed a plane into the Watergate building during an oil shortage earthquake in Vietnam.
Bring me the script.
On the genre front, this decade had more check boxes than an art porn website. As we definitively established during Death Wish month, action was very much included, and it all begins with Clint motherfucking Eastwood. Eastwood isn't a name, folks. It's a description of the direction my turgid penis points whenever he drops a shitbag. I've long suspected the 1971 seminal cinematic Siege Dirty Harry was less a fictitious account of the life and times of a San Francisco police officer and more a cinematic reconnaissance photo of the daily life of Clint Eastwood. And if that's the case, I must admit that from Oscar-winning acting, producing, directing, and for all I fucking know being crowned honorary Lord King of the Moon in the intervening 4 decades, I'm beginning to suspect that on Dirty Harry we may have actually caught Clint on something of an off day, with a Bay Area sniper perma-camping all the good spawn points and a rash of serial killings that are in no way to be construed as a revenge fantasy against the Zodiac Killer.
Killing spree.
This being San Francisco, there's but one course of action. Mandatory hugging, anti-gun violence quilts, taxpayer-subsidized communal poetry slams, or Dirty Harry can murder every shitbag in a 9-block radius.
I shoot the bastard, that's my policy.
I think he's got a point.
Nothing to worry your rapidly decaying skull about, Nancy Pelosi. Dirty Harry can't even find Scorpio. Why, he's kicking back with a dog and a Coke. I'm sure there's no need for alarm.
Oh, shit.
Aimlessly ambling into action, Harry spots Trayvon, Skittles and Sprite in hand, armed with a shotgun that I can only assume shoots kindness.
Oh! 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 Oh!
That's right, with a bum leg and a mouthful of hot dog, Harry Callahan still has better aim than Chris Nolan's cinematographer. Sauntering the fuck over, magnum drawn, he approaches Trayvon, who's evidently grown a mustache in the shape of the bat signal, and if you aren't familiar with what happens next, please approach the counter and hand in your penis.
You've got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
Naturally, Obama's surrogate son figures the most opportune moment for an impromptu game of 44 caliber roulette is while he's bleeding out in the fucking street.
Hey, I got to know.
Harry legs it on down to the department where he meets his new partner, future Cobra colleague and Seinfeld serial couch urinator by the name of, what the fuck was that nomenclature again?
I'm Sergeant Gonzalez.
Say hello to Chico Gonzalez. He'll be working with you.
Sweet rolling hills of ethnic sensitivity. Chico Gonzalez. What was Pancho McHops the border to on the nose? At which point Harry initiates the only exchange more unapologetically racist than my commentary.
Harry hates everybody. Limeys, Nicks, Hebes, Fat Dagos, niggers, honkies, chicks, you name it.
How's he feel about Mexican?
Especially Spicks.
Somewhere, Hillary Clinton's head just exploded. With Harry's ethnic opinionating going over like Michael Richards at the Apollo.
If only there were a horrible name that I could call you that would make you as angry as I am.
We now learn that the Zodiac Scorpio killer is none other than Deep Space Nine luminary Garrick the Spy.
Oh, it's just Garrick. Plain, simple Garrick.
Look, the dude from Hellraiser, and he's killing more blacks than other blacks, prompting Harry to camp out in the gratuitous 70s muff district, camp below a familiar-looking sign, and try to drop him like a sack of beef. But for all Harry's 44 caliber finesse on the rage front, he's less Sniper Elite and more Stevie Wonder with vertigo. Chin up, Harry. I'm almost completely certain this little rooftop goat fuck will have no unintended adverse consequences whatsoever.
Double-crossing San Francisco police made me do this. Anything cute and you will force me to let girl die of slow suffocation. Signed, Scorpio.
But enough about Movie Bob's weekend plans. In the aftermath, the mayor goes from zero to placate, packing a suitcase full of enough taxpayer money to be mistaken for Jerry Brown's pockets, and extending Scorpio the monetary olive branch. The catch? That branch is wedged between the clenched teeth of Clint fucking Eastwood.
You know, it's disgusting that a police officer should know how to use a weapon like that.
Motherfucker, that knife is strapped to a weapon. Harry strides the fuck out into the Frisco night, white flag neatly tucked betwixt his buttocks, when suddenly the payphone rings, providing Harry with much-needed instruction, and the Batman Arkham series with one of its longest abiding plot devices.
Answer my phone and answer it quick, Batman.
I'm watching you. Not all the time, but you'll never know when or where.
Is this the NSA? But before Edward Snowden can use this to get complimentary Russian supermodel blowjobs too, Harry's off to the races. That is, until he's intercepted by the most conspicuously Caucasian muggers this side of Death Wish 3.
What's in the bag, man?
For Eastwood in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You don't listen, do you, asshole?
Deftly sidestepping the tweed sweatshirt triad with a 44 caliber comeback, he's instructed to leg it on over to the park for a come to Jesus meeting.
Left hand. Let's see the gun. My. That's a big one.
Yeah? And what about the gun? In defiance of the very laws of physics, he chucks his piece, which ends about as well as you might expect.
I've changed my mind. I'm going to let her die.
His balls to the wall, his ribs splintered the fucking twain, and squinting down the barrel of a gun I'd be shocked to discover is prohibited by California law, it seems Harry's days of feathering his widow's peak and glowering menacingly at the fucking sun are well the fuck behind him, when suddenly, Gonzalez! Yes, the cavalry's in action now! Who, I ask? Who can conceivably withstand the imperious onslaught of Chico fucking Gonzalez? Fuck me! Licking his wounds, it isn't long before they tail him back to a local hospital.
He used to sell programs at the stadium. I think the groundskeeper lets him live there.
A murderer in organized sports? Are you sure?
Monday night, my wife and my children will not be watching Raw because I am going to do something that is unthinkable.
They ransack his murder shack replete with sniper rifle and drive the rat out of his glory hole. That is when shit gets Eastwood.
Oh!
Well, I can't speak for their offense or defense, but if they award points for flagrant police brutality, sweet nipple-twisting Christ, is this gonna be a goddamn blowout.
Where's the girl?
I want oil.
I said, where's the girl?
I have rights.
Well, at least the myriad moral, physical, and political sacrifices weren't for naught as they locate the girl, doubtless rigid with anticipation, breathlessly awaiting the impending risk. Ugh. Well, with the madman locked away, the streets at last becalmed, and the girl secure with her family, his mausoleum, surely it's time for Frisco's fearsome freedom fighter to have his time in the limelight. What'll it be this time? A key to the city? A complimentary Pelosi skin peel? Why, just about the only thing that can conceivably fuck this up is San Francisco being San Fran-fucking-Cisco!
The problem is we don't have any evidence.
Evidence? What the hell do you call that?
I call it nothing.
Are you trying to tell me that ballistics can't match the bullet up to this rifle?
It does not matter what ballistics can do, but it's inadmissible as evidence.
And who says that?
It's the law. As soon as he's well enough to leave the hospital, he walks.
Oh, he won't be out there long.
That's not a threat, that's fucking prophecy. And sure enough, 5 fucking minutes don't elapse before 2 cold Scorpios hijacking the magic school bus and holding Miss Frizzle for ransom with a king's plunder awaiting him and a readily fueled jet waiting to bear him to a city with a dick. As they make the turn off the Sir Francis Drake Turnpike, it appears Garrick's victory is a foregone conclusion. I mean, honestly, what can Dirty Harry conceivably do? Perch on a low-hanging overpass, drop the fuck onto the roof, and kick the shit out of Scorpio by hand? That's right, bitch. Dirty Harry was bus surfing before Fast and Furious was a gleamin' Vin Diesel steroidally shrunken nutsack, but that Obsidian Order training evidently came to fucking handy as Garrick bucks his ass off the Iron Bronco and into the waiting embrace of a mountain of fucking dirt. Duffing the dust from his pompadour, he at last tails the Scorpio,
Plain, simple.
this cunt to a nondescript factory mill that I can only assume manufactures justice and makes a little of his own. Showing surprisingly effective gunplay, not to mention impressive disregard for anal splinters, Garrick shoves the fuck off to a nearby pond and takes yet another goddamn hostage. The tables turn and an innocent life in the balance. Surely now, after all the reprimands, the hand slaps, the brutality charges, it's time to finally play by the rules. Or you can be Dirty fucking Harry. What follows is too indescribably Eastwood for words.
I know what you're thinking, punk. You're thinking, did he fire 6 shots or only 5? Now, to tell you the truth, I forgot myself in all this excitement. But being this is a .44 Magnum, the most powerful handgun in the world, and will blow your head clean off, you've got to ask yourself a question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
Shitbag, wasted. Hostage, saved. Badge, discarded. Cut, print, legend.